Welcome back to Radical Islam, terror in its own words. I'm Edie Hill. Before the break, you heard some of the voices of Radical Islam, men and women who are ready and willing to kill us. As Americans, we know full well, Radical Islam doesn't need modern armies to attack and terrorize the civilized world. All it needs is an army of suicide bombers. How do you find people willing to blow themselves up? We start with a disturbing video originally distributed by Al-Qaeda. It purports to show a suicide bomber as he drives toward an American convoy in Afghanistan. Now, Fox News cannot verify whether this was an actual attack or a staged stunt. So why are we airing it? Because the video was shown on Islamic television and the internet to glorify suicide bombers and recruit others to their ranks. You should see what they see. It is terror in their own words.
I pray to Allah that this operation will be vengeance upon the American pigs and their apostate collaborator dogs.
We will carry out the operation within a few minutes. What do you feel, Abu Muhammad?
I've never felt so calm in my life. To my family and friends, I say, we will meet in paradise, Allah willing. Meeting you in paradise, which is as broad as heaven and earth, is preferable to me than remaining with you in this transient life.
When you watch some of the propaganda tapes that are put out, you see these the graphic attacks on Americans shown over and over and over. Why?
It's to, first of all, show other potential recruits that killing Americans is possible and that we are victorious in achieving this. And so showing people who are pious and who are giving their lives up in the name of Islam, killing Americans, is something they're trying to convert other people to do because they're showing that this is something that is legitimate.
There are the American cars. Abu Muhammad, I can see you. Place your trust in Allah. Keep going in the name of Allah. There are about 200 meters in front of you. Can you see them in front of me? Go on a little further, and we will see them in front of you. Place your trust in Allah, Muhammad. Remember, paradise, my brother. Remember, paradise. May Allah accept you as a martyr, Abu Muhammad.
This is a very powerful tool for recruitment. This is the tipping point when they see the martyr-to-be, the future martyr, saying, I am doing it, I'm going to be meeting Allah, what have you. This is the tipping point for the next wave of suicide bombers.
America, the only things awaiting you here are these buttons. I have a bag with me. In it, I have TNT and a gas container next to me.
These martyrdom operations are the shortest way to Allah. They are the most exalted and magnificent way of martyrdom in this generation.
What are they promised?
They're promised, first and foremost, that they're doing the right thing to defend their faith. They're also, some of them believe that ultimately they go to paradise and that they will live with 72 virgins who will be given to them as a result of their generosity to the faith of Islam.
In other words, what was not permissible on earth is now permissible in heaven, in quantities you cannot imagine.
This bomb will be directed to the right to blow up the first concrete barrier and the second dirt barrier.
I proclaim that the armies of truth have arrived and they are wreaking havoc upon the apostates and Americans. To my family I say, rejoice! By Allah, I have never been as happy as I am today.
What about the female phenomenon? You see these female suicide bombers, one of them even a lawyer. Why do they do it?
It comes down to a culture of hatred, a media that propagates this sense of anger and resentment towards the West and towards the policies of the United States and Israel, and also this sense of somehow that you're doing something to defend the faith.
By the power of Allah, I have decided to become the 6th female martyrdom seeker who will turn her body into shrapnel, which will reach the heart of every Zionist colonialist in my country.
Many people don't approve women to be suicide bombers. Muhammad once said, the best place for women is a dark corner in her house.
One sheikh ruled that this is forbidden. Why? Because he said Allah created women for pregnancy and childbirth. So if you send her to explode or convince her to blow herself up, you prevent the will of Allah from being fulfilled, because this woman will never marry, get pregnant, or give birth. What is this nonsense? What is more important? The right of countries to be liberated from the colonialists, or the right of a woman to get married and give birth?
Women suicide bombers are an awkward phenomenon in jihadi ideology, because the man has a prominent position in this regard. These are very rare cases, but on the growing side, they are multiplying.
Every person who dies will be resurrected and held accountable. I will die and be resurrected.
A woman must be a virgin. A woman must have a clean reputation. If a woman is attacked, is raped, then she is considered a used property and she has soiled the honor of the family. So now what they're doing is they're coming to these women and they're telling them, listen, you can become a suicide bomber, cleanse your honor and the honor of a family, and become a hero at the same time, killing few infidels.
He had 2 explosive belts. He put one on me, he wore the other. He taught me how to use it, what to pull, and what to do in order to operate it. The targets were the hotels in Jordan. He rented a car and we went to the hotel. This was November 9. We entered the hotel, my husband and I. He took a corner and I took another. There was a wedding party at the hotel. There were children, women, and men. My husband detonated his belt and I tried to do the same, but it didn't explode. I went out, people were running out, and I ran with them.
She just did what her husband asked her to do. She's also brainwashed. And in Islam, women have 2 purposes: to reproduce and to please their men. She is following her husband's decision. This is the situation in our Islamic world.
The martyrdom operation is the weapon Allah gave this nation, and no one can take it away from us. They can take away our cannons, our tanks, and our planes, but they cannot take away our spirit, which yearns for Allah and which is determined to achieve martyrdom.
Coming up after the break, more of terror in its own words. If you're a parent as I am, you will not believe what we have to show you next. Can it be that radical Islam wants so badly to destroy us that mothers actually rejoice at the news that their sons and daughters have blown themselves up? And later I sit down with a moderate Islamic cleric who says he wants to build bridges between American Muslims and the rest of the American public. Will he condemn what you're seeing tonight? Why do we see that on Arab TV? Hate Jews, hate Christians, hate anyone who is not exactly like us.